So we have done, first of all, my name is Gaurav Snehil, right? And I'm a pass out of Sainik School, Amravati Nagar, right? And I have cleared all of these examinations, NDA, CDS, AFCAT, all the time I have ever written these examinations over here. So, and I wanted to explore a little bit about this teaching, and that's why I'm over here uh, in front of you teaching these subjects. We have already done with question number 1 to 40 in part A and part B in this PYQ series, and over here today we'll get going with question number 41 onwards. Okay, so question number 41 asks you to find out what is the value of this particular stuff. Okay, so what is the value of root 17 minus 4 root 15, right, plus 8 minus 2 root 15? How exactly we'll be finding this, right? Okay, so can we write this thing as 12 plus 5 minus 2 root one of the two, if I take it common, right, if I take it inside, so will it be right? Root 60, one of the two, if I take it inside, it will be 4, right? Plus root under, can I write 5 plus 3 minus 2 into 3 root 5? Can I write something like that? Right, obviously we can write like that. Okay, now what we will do, can I write something like root 12 as root 12 whole square and 5 as root 5 whole square? My whole point is to get rid of this square root over here. Okay, that's what I'm working for, right? To get rid of the square root over here, right? So now can I write it like minus 2 into root 12 into root 5 plus can I write like root 5 whole square plus root 3 whole square minus 2 into root 5 into root 3? I can definitely write it like that, isn't it? Right. So now if you look at this portion carefully, over here, right, it is how much? A minus B whole square, right? Isn't it? This is in the form of A minus B whole square. So I can write something like root under 12 minus root under 5 whole square. This is what we can write. Plus over here, this is also in the form of A square plus B square minus 2AB. So we can write something like, right, A square, A minus B whole square, right? A minus B whole square we can write, right? Now this is square and this is square root, this is square and this is square root will get cancelled. So essentially what here we are left with? Okay, not like that. Okay, essentially I will just delete all the portions that is not required. Okay, essentially this root goes on to a toss, this also square also goes on to a toss, right? It's something like this, right? Okay, now if you solve for it, this is your root 12 minus root 5 plus root 5 minus root 3. This is what you have. Now just solve for it. What do you get? If you solve for it, this one gone, this one gone, this one is how much? 4. That means 2 root 3 minus root 3. How much do you get? 41. A is the answer. Okay, the whole point was that I wanted to write this in the form of A square plus B square minus 2AB, so that I could write like A minus B whole square, right? And then this is square and this is square root got cancelled, right? Guys, give your attendance who and all have joined, 2 of you, right? And let me know if you guys are understanding in the chat or not. I'm constantly looking at the chat over here, right? I'll be able to see if you guys are understanding or not. Okay, so the next question over here is question number 42. What is the maximum sum of the number, right? Maximum sum of the number 36, 33, all that up till infinity, right? Okay, so it will go, where will it go? Okay, somewhere one of the terms will be 3, right? Somewhere one of the term will be 0. Okay, somewhere one of the term will be minus 3. Obviously we are not going to add minus 3, right? Why? Because if you add minus 3 you need to get the maximum value, right? Okay, so you will add all the positive values, isn't it? Right, so only all the positive values will be added, right? Okay, and obviously this 0 will not be added as well. Okay, so what do we get? We get an AP with the first term as 36 and the common difference as minus 3, right? So now it goes up till over here 3, right? It goes up till over here 3. So now we have to find out 3 is which term, right? So you know from the AP arithmetic progression, term n, right, nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, right? Nth term is 3, which is 36 plus n minus 1. We don't know n, this is what we have to find out. D value is how much, right? Over here you see common difference is how much? It is 3 or minus 3, right? You see over here common difference is minus 3. Why? Because it is being, right, reduced, right? So now if you take it over here on this side, so this is a minus 33 minus 3n plus 3. Okay, which means minus 36 is equal to minus 3n, which implies n is equal to 2. Okay, what does it mean? It means that this value 3 over here is your 12th term of the AP, right? 12th term of the AP. Now you just have to find the sum to 12 terms of the AP, right? How do you find out the sum to 12 terms of the AP, right? How do you find out the sum to 12 terms of the AP, right? You know the first term and you know the last term over here, right? Can we use the formula n by 2 into a plus l, right? N is how much? 12, right? 12 by 2 is how much? 6, and 36 plus 3, which means 6 into 39. If you calculate this number, you will get 234. We are going to get more interesting question, folks. Kindly tune in, okay? Right? Start tuning in or stick around, right? Now you have question number 43 over here. Okay? Question number 43 over here. Right? There are two natural numbers m and n, whereas m is greater than n. Okay? Right? They have given the condition over here. M is greater than n when m is divided by 12, it leaves a remainder of 4. Okay? Right? First thing first, if m is greater than n and if m is divided by 12, right? If m divided by 12, remainder is equal to 4, right? What does it mean? That is, what does it mean? M is equal to either 16 or 28 or 40 or other numbers, right? Isn't it? So these are the values of m, these are the possible values of m, right? Isn't? Then only it will have 4 remainder, right? And now they are also saying when n is divided by 12, it leaves a remainder of 6. So which means n divided by 12 leaves a remainder how much? 6. That is, n is equal to how much? N is equal to, can be 18, right? When you divide 18 by 12, you get the remainder 6, right? Next number is 30, right? Next number is 42, just I am adding 12 to it, right? Isn't it? Now they are saying m is greater than n, right? M is greater than n. If I am saying m value is 28, then n value will be 18, right? Or otherwise, if you don't want to take this number, you can take different number also. Let's say I am taking m is equal to 40 and n is equal to 30, right? These are the two values I am taking, right? M is equal to 40 and N is equal to 30. So far so good. We are not flouting any rule, isn't it? Right? So now they are saying if M plus N is divided by 12, okay? So M plus N is how much? M plus M is 70. If 70 is divided by 12, how much is the remainder? Remainder is 10, isn't it? You take any more values of M and N, right? You take any more values of M and N. I take M is equal to 28 and N is equal to 18, right? So 28 plus 18 is how much? Right? 28 plus 18 is 48. 48 divided by 28 plus 18 is how much? Right? 46. 46 divided by 12, remainder, again you are getting 10, right? So the first one is correct for all the cases, right folks? Right? Now as I told you, you can take the same number 40, 30 over here, M minus N. M minus N means 40 minus 30. If that is divided by 12 over here, if 10 divided by 12, what is the remainder? 10 is the remainder, right? If you do not want to take this number, you can take any other number as well. Let's say I am taking M is equal to 40 and N is equal to 18. So M minus N is how much? Right? M minus N is 22. Right? I am checking for the second one. Then this divided by 12. Again remainder is equal to 10. Right? So what does it mean? This 1 is also correct and 2 is also correct. Right? Both 1 and 2 are correct answer over here, folks. Right? So we'll move to the next one. Okay. Alright. This one, question number 44. Look at this question number 44 carefully. They have given x plus y is to y plus z is to z plus x is equal to 3 is to 5 plus x. Right, this is what they have given. X plus y is to y plus z is to z plus x is equal to 3, 5, 6 is to 3 is to 5 is to 6 is what they have given. Had these been the actual values, right? Had these been the actual values, it would have been 2 into x plus y plus z. I'm just adding all of this, right? It should have been equal to 3 plus 5 plus 6. How much is this value? 3 plus 5 plus 6. 3 plus 5 plus 6 over here is how much? Right? 14, which means x plus y plus z is equal to 7. Okay. But hold on, they've already given x plus y plus z is equal to 14. But over here, what are we getting? We are getting x plus y plus z is equal to 7, which means, what does it mean? Okay, which means x plus y value is not 3, is 6, okay, and y plus z value is not 5, is 10, just 2 times of this, okay, and z plus x value is not 6, it is 12, okay, right? So now you got the value, like which particular value, okay. So I'll just write it down over here again. Z plus x is equal to 12, okay. X plus z is equal to 12, okay, right? So this is what you have, right? This is what you have, folks, right? Now if you look at these two, how can you get x plus y is equal to 6, right? X can be 1, y can be 5, right? Okay, x is, let's say x is over here, right? Let's say x is over here is 2 and y is 4, right? In that case we will satisfy this equation, right? But if y is 4, then z will have to be 6, then only it will be 10, right? Isn't it? Now x plus z is equal to 12, they are saying. Z value is 6, x value is 1, right? Isn't it? Right? So it's not coming 12, so we have to check for certain values, right? Okay, now let's take the value over here, right? I have thought through it. If you take the value of x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2, right, then this equation gets satisfied, right? And now if you take y is equal to 2 as we have taken it from here, Z will be automatically 8, isn't it? Because we have to get 10, right? Sorry. So over here you get the value of x is equal to 4 and z is equal to 8. So it satisfies this equation as well. So sorry. So which means we get the values. X value over here is 4, y value over here is 2 and z value over here is 8. Okay, right? You have to think through it. You have to run your brain and think through these numbers. Okay, right? So now they have asked over here to you what is the value of x square plus y square plus z square value they are asking, right? X square is 16, y square is 4 and z square is 64, right? If you add all of this, how much do you get? Right, this is how much? 80, right? 70, 80, and this is how much? 44, right? Answer will be 84 over here, right? Okay, you got to run your brain and get through this answer. Okay, if in the examination hall if you can't think through it, that's perfectly fine, no issues. Okay, no worries, right? Now they have given the ratio of the sum of two numbers. Okay, I'm saying the numbers are a and b. The ratio of the sum of two numbers to their differences is 5:1, right? Okay, then what is the ratio of the sum of their squares to the difference of the square? Right, sum of the square to the difference of the square is what they are saying, isn't it? So what is this particular value? This is a plus b is equal to 5a minus 5b, right? Which means over here this is how much? Okay, this is 6b is equal to 4a, right? Which means 3b is equal to 2a, right? Up till now we have reached, right? Now from here whenever you reach something like that, 3b is equal to 2a, something like that, okay, a value is this and b value is this. Okay, so what does it mean? A value is 3 and b value is 2 over here, right? Okay, a value is 3 and b value is 2, right? Now just put in the values over here, right? Now you just put in the values, right? Okay, now a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 2. A square is how much? 9. B square is how much? 4, right? A square is 9 minus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13, right? By 5. Your answer is option number A over here, folks. Right? Okay? Right? What is the answer for this particular question? Right? Okay? The answer to this particular question is 13:5. Okay, you can't get no easier question than this in your CDS examination. Okay, right? Don't think that this is only for the CDS examination, so that's what I'll study only this one and I will not study other ones, right? Okay, now traveling at 3/5 of his usual speed, a man is late by 20 minutes. So what is the usual time if he travels with his usual speed? Okay, right? What is the usual time? Right? What is the usual time if he travels with his usual speed? Right? Okay, so we know one thing, distance is equal to speed into time, right? I'm not a very big fan of using the formulas over here, right? Okay, so I just solve it with using the concept, right? Okay, now distance is same but his speed is 3/5 of his usual speed. Okay, so 3/5 into s, right? A man is late by 20 minutes. Okay, a man is late by 20 minutes means t plus 20. We need not worry about the the units because everything is in the minutes, everywhere it's in the minutes, right? Okay, so now we have to just solve for it. Okay, let's just solve for it over here. So d is equal to 3/5 st plus how much is that? 60 by 5. 60 by 5 is how much? 12s. Right? 60 by 5, 12s. Now we know the value of D is equal to ST. So over here, instead of ST, can we write D? Right? Or if we solve for it, is it like if we take it over here on this side, left hand side, is it 2 by 5 of D is equal to 12s? Right? Isn't it? Right? So now which is how much? Which is how much? Right? Okay, so this is 6, right? So D is equal to 30s is your value over here, is what we are getting, right? D is equal to 30s is what we are getting. Now you got one of the equation over here, D is equal to ST, right? D is equal to ST is what you have got. Okay, so let's just put this over here in that particular equation. D is equal to 30s is equal to ST. S and S gone on to a toss. T is equal to 30, right? 30 is what? Minutes. We assume that over here T is the usual time with which he reaches his destination, right? Is that what we assume? Right? That's what exactly we assumed over here, right folks? Isn't it? Right? Now we'll move to the next one. Now we'll move to the next question over here. Right? What is the remainder when 2 raised to the power p minus 1 is divided by p? Right? What is the remainder when 2 raised to the power p minus 1 is divided by, right, p? Right? That's what they are asking, right? And p over here is greater than 5 and p is a prime number, right? P is greater than 5 and p is a prime number. Can I say p is equal to 7 in that case? Right? Can I say p is equal to 7 in that case, right? So basically 2 raised to the power 7 minus 1 has to be divided by 7, right? And they are asking remainder is equal to what? Okay, 2 raised to the power 7 is how much? Okay, 128. 128 minus 1 is 127. 127 divided by 7. So what is the remainder over here? Right? Okay, when you do something like this, 1 times 7, right, 56, right? What is the remainder, folks? Right? The remainder over here is 1, right? Okay, remainder over here is what? 1, folks, right? So that is going to be true for all the cases, whether you take any other number, right? Whether you take 2 raised to the power 11 or something, right? Even then you will have the same stuff, right? If you take like this, 2 raised to the power 10 is 1024, 2048, 2047, right? So 2047 divided by 7, 2047 divided by 7, 2 times 14, 63, right? Okay, right? 2 raised to the power 11 is how much? Right? 1024, 2048, 2047, right? Isn't it? Now I'm calculating for this. Okay, let me clear up the mess a little bit. Okay, we'll clear up the mess. So 2048 minus 1 divided by 7, 2047, right? 2 times of 14, 64, 63, 17. Okay. Okay, sorry, it has to be divided by p, right? Okay, so it has to be divided by p and not 7, right? Okay, over here this is 11, 11, 11, right? So 1 time 11, 94, 8 times 88, right? 67, 6 times 66. Again you are having the same remainder 1. Okay, irrespective of the fact whatsoever you choose, you are going to have the same remainder over here, folks. Right? Shall we move to the next one? Question number 48. What is the number of factors of 24 raised to the power 3? Right? What is the number of factors of 24 raised to the power 3 minus 16 raised to the power 3 minus 8 raised to the power 3? Is that what you are they are asking? Okay. Can I take 8 raised to the power 3 over here common? Which means it is 3 raised to the power 3 minus 2 cube minus 1. Is that what we have? Right? Which means 8 cube is how much? Right? 8 cube is nothing but 2 raised to the power 9. Right? Isn't it? 2 square. Right? 2 cube raised to the power 3. Right? So this can be written as 2 raised to the power 9. So this is your 27 minus 8 minus 1. Okay. So 2 raised to the power 9, 2 raised to the power 9 minus 27 minus 9. Okay. Right. So 2 raised to the power 9 into 18. 18 means how much? 18 means how much? 9 into 8. So 2 into 3 square. Right. Or otherwise how you can write it? 2 raised to the power 10 and 3 square. Okay. If you have something like this, over here, right? So can you find out the number of factors? Can you find out the number of factors over here, folks? Right? So number of factors in that case will be how much? N plus 1, 11 into 3, right? 10 plus 1 and 2 plus 1, right? So when you multiply these two, how much do you get? 33 as an answer you get over here, right? All right. Next question, question number 49 over here, folks. Right? Okay. Question number 49. Right? Stick around, folks. Right? Question number 49. What is the least number of complete years in which a sum of money, right? What is the least number of complete years in which a sum of money put out at 20% compound interest compounded annually will be more than double? Okay, I am saying principal is equal to 1 rupee. Okay, if principal is equal to 1 rupee, when does the amount become 2 rupees or more? Okay, this is what they are asking. When exactly does the amount becomes 2 rupees or more? Is that what they are asking, right? So you know amount is equal to P into 1 plus R. R is how much? 20, right? 20 by 100 raised to the power. See, even if it is like simple interest, means it will be double in how many? 5 years, no? Right? 20 into 5, then only in 5 years simple interest, that's how it will grow. Can I put? That's why because this is your compound interest, and compound interest will increase very fast. Can I put 4 over here? Right? If I put 4 over here, you know amount P is how much? P is 1 only. Now if you solve for this, this is 1.2 raised to the power 4. Okay, right? 12 cube is 1.732, folks, right? So which means 1.732. I have told all of you to remember the cube roots, right? And now this is this particular value. Can you calculate this? Can you guys calculate this? Okay, right? If you calculate this, the value comes out to be 4870.2, right? Okay, right? So principal was 1 and now the amount is more than 2, isn't it? So what is the least value, least number of years which was required to get it doubled over here? Which was 4 years over here, folks, right? How many years? 4 years, right? Okay, I've taught you guys the concept of multiplying factor also, isn't it? Okay, I've taught you the concept of multiplying factor. In compound interest, it is simply nothing but your, okay, for cube roots this is 1.2 raised to the power 3. It's as simple as that, right? There's not much complication over here, isn't it, folks? Right? So when you do 1.2 raised to the power 3, you get 1.732. Okay, 1.732. This value denotes your principal and this value denotes your compound interest, right? Okay, that I have been telling to you all over again and again, right? So with that we'll move to the next question, right? So the next question is a train of, right, a train of certain length, right, take t seconds to pass completely. A train of certain length takes t time, okay, time t to pass. I'm assuming, let's say time is equal to 20 seconds, okay, to pass completely through a station of length x, okay, right, okay, so length x over here, right, okay, so a station of length x, I'm saying the length of the station x is equal to 100 meters. Can I assume that? And I'm assuming the length of the train as again another 100 meters, right? I'm assuming all that. The same train with same speed takes time 2t to pass completely through another station, okay, right? So in that case speed is equal to how much? Speed is equal to distance by time, right? Distance is how much? Both will be adding, right? Okay, length of the train plus the length of the platform L plus x by 20, which means 10 meter per second is your speed over here, folks, right? Okay, now the same train with the same speed of 10 meter per second, same train means length is 100 meter, okay, takes time t2, right? Takes time how much? 40 seconds. Don't rush to conclude that over here that now the distance is 2 times, okay, right? Okay, so you know time is equal to distance by speed. Time is 40, distance we don't know, right, which is 100 plus the next platform, another platform of length y, 100 plus y, right, is equal to 10 plus y, right, 40 seconds, right? Time is equal to distance by speed over here, right, which means y is equal to 300, okay. So this is the length of the different platform, okay, another station, right? So this is the length of the another station over here, okay. So what is the time taken by the train to pass completely through the station of length x plus y, okay? X is how much? Okay, right? Okay, x is how much, right? What is the time taken to complete the time taken by the train to pass completely through a station of length x plus y, right? Of length x plus y. The station length is now how much? 100 plus 300, which is 400, right? Isn't it? Now time is equal to distance. What is the distance? This is the length of the platform, right? Length of the platform plus length of the train divided by speed, which was 10 meter per second, right? Which means 50 second is what you are going to take, folks, right? Okay, now you have to check for it which particular equation over here works out, right? Okay, you have to check over here as to which particular option work out correctly, right? Okay, so you put in the values over here, right? I have already solved for it over here. So option D, when you solve for it, 2 times of y, what is the value of y? 300. Okay, into t, t is how much? Okay, right? T is how much? 20 is what we assume, minus x. X is how much? 100, right? Into t, t was 20, divided by y minus x. Y is 300, x is how much? 100, which means 200 over here, right? Okay, right? So this is how much? 12, 1, 2, 3 minus 1, 2, 3 divided by 200, right? Now just solve for this. Now let's just solve for this. Okay, let's solve for this, folks, right? Okay, right? So if you solve for this, this is nothing but 10,000, right? This is nothing but your 1, 2, 3 divided by 200. This one gone, this one gone, this one gone, this one gone. Okay, is that what we got? Is that what we got? Or is that what we were looking for? D is what we were looking for over here, right? Isn't it? Right, this is what we were looking for, right, folks? Okay, so now we'll move to the next one. Okay, now we have some geometry questions coming in. Okay, right? So consider the following for the next two items that follow. A frustum of a right cone. Okay, a frustum of a right cone, right? A frustum of a right cone has a top of diameter 2k and bottom of diameter as 2.5k, right? Okay, and the height is equal to k, right? First of all, let's just try to understand what exactly do we mean by frustum. Okay, so the frustum is a truncated cone, right? It looks something like that. It looks something like that, folks, right? Isn't it? Frustum looks something like that. Okay, and what is the total surface area, whole surface area, or otherwise total surface area of a frustum? It is given by pi l into r plus small r plus pi capital R square plus pi small r. Okay, they have given this value. Okay, this value, this diameter they have given this value as k, right? And they have given this value as 1.25k, right? Okay, diameter they have given, and this value height, okay, height over here they have given as another k, right? Okay, so what I will do, we have to find out L. L is called slant height, right? L is called slant height over here. So I will just draw this frustum in a bit more clear fashion, right? So this is your frustum, right, folks? Okay, now this value over here, okay, I'm saying A and B. AB they have given as height as k already, right? Okay, now this value is, right, small r will be 2k by 2, which means k. Capital R will be 2.5k by 2, right? This particular value. Now Can we drop a perpendicular line? Can we drop a perpendicular line? If we drop a perpendicular line over here, right? Okay, we know one thing, that this value is k, right? This value is also k. So this value over here, this green portion over here will be 0.25k, right? 0.25k, right? The green portion will be 25k. And now this value over here is k. They have already given AB is equal to k, right? So which means slant height, this is a slant height, L is equal to root under k square, over here k square, plus 0.25k. Can I write it like 1 by 4k whole square, right? Or k by 4 whole square, right? Okay, so which means if you solve for this, you will be getting L is equal to, right, over here your 16 root under 17k by 2, right? Root under 17k by 2 is what you are going to get, folks, right? So now let's just put this in the formula over here, the formula that we have got. Okay, slant height over here is equal to root under 17k by 2, right? So pi, let's write down pi as it is, right? Okay, and over here L value is root under 17k by 2 into r plus r. Okay, which means r is, one of the r is k, another r is how much? Okay, 1.25k, which means 2.25k, isn't it? Okay, 2.25k. Can I write like 225k by 100? Okay, right, 2.25k, right, plus, okay, right, plus over here pi into capital R square. Where is this capital R square? Right, this is your capital R, right? So can I write it like 1.25k by 100 whole square? Can I write like that? Plus pi into r square. What is the value of r square over here? R square value is 1 only, right? Okay, this is small r square is 1 only, right? So this value over here gives you this value over here, okay, right? Okay, so yeah, this slant height, unfortunately we made a mistake, is root under 17k by 14, right? Okay, right? So what we found out was k square, not 14, 4, right? K square into k by 4 whole square is what we were doing, right? Isn't it? Right? So now you had how much? Okay, it was root under 17, it was over here, guys. Look, if you just drop in and out, then you won't get it. Okay, 17k square by 16, right? So from here root under 17k by 4 has come. Okay, now we are going to solve some critical stuffs over here, right? So can I write it like 9 times 4 times, okay, 5 times 4 times? So what we are left with, root under 17k by 4 pi, okay, right, into 9 by 4k, right? So now this is done, isn't it? This is done, okay, right? Into this is also done. So let me just remove it, all of this, okay, plus this is pi into k square is how much? 25k square divided by 60, right? Guys, look, we are solving PYQ, so you should get a feel of writing it in the examination hall, right? Plus over here pi r square means pi k square. R was k, right? So which means, can I write like 16 pi k square by 16, isn't it? Right, we can write, I mean, just for the sake of easy calculation we are writing it like that. Okay, so now what we get over here, okay, so now what we get over here, right, if you calculate this over here, this is your 9 root 17 pi k square plus 25 pi k square plus 16 pi k square divided by 16 is what you have. Okay, right, if you solve for this, right, don't freak out folks. Okay, now this is 25 plus 16, so can I write like 41 pi k square. Okay, now we don't have any of the answers, something like that. Okay, so how do we proceed, right? So how do we proceed, right? So if you look at this is root under 17. Is it like root under 17 almost closer to root under 16, almost equivalent to that, isn't it? So I am assuming I'm doing something called approximation. Okay, approximation, right? Okay, so root under 17, I'm assuming that this is root under 16, right? So this one will become how much? 4. Okay, right, this one become how much? 4, which means 36 plus 41, 36 plus 41 is how much? Okay, 36 plus 41 is how much? 77. Okay, 77 pi k square by 16. Okay, if I am intentionally dividing it by 2, which is 8, and this is your 38.5. Okay, so 38.5 pi k square by 8 over here. Okay, right, isn't it? So you see that we assumed root under 16 instead of root under 17. Okay, so the final answer was supposed to be slightly more than 38.5, right? Slightly more than 38.5, isn't it? So obviously, which answer will be the correct option over here? 39 pi k square by 8 is going to be the correct answer. Okay, right? So smartly you have to do the approximation, folks, right? Okay, who and all are here, guys? Write down in the chat who and all are there. Okay, so what is the volume they are asking? What is the volume? This frustum is an important one. Okay, if you know the formula and if you can work it fast enough, then you are good to go, right? The volume of the frustum is given by, okay, I'll just write down the formula, 1 by 3 pi into h, okay, r1 square plus r2 square, okay, plus r1 into r2, right? Okay, they have given diameter 1, diameter 2, right? So let's just solve for this. Okay, so 1 by 3 pi into h they have already given, right? Height is k, isn't it? Height is k, right? And then r1 square, half of this is k, half of this is 1.25 k, right? Okay, which is your k square plus, can I write it like 5 by 4? 5 by 4 whole square is 25 by 16 k square plus r1 into r2, right? R1 into R2 is how much? Okay, R1 into R2 is 1.25 k square, which means 5 by 4 k square. Okay, 5 by 4 k square, so which means 1 by 3 pi k. Now if I take 16 over here, right, so 16 k square plus 25 k square plus 20k square. Okay, now if you solve for this, right, if you simply solve for this over here, how much do you get? Right, how much do you get? You get 61k square by 16. Okay, if you solve for this, you will get 52a as an answer over here, folks. Right? Okay, what will you be getting? A as an answer to this particular question, folks. Okay, all right, so we'll move to the next one. Consider the following for the next two items that follow. Okay, right, ABC is a triangle right angle at B. Okay, ABC is a triangle right angled at B. Okay, right, so if ABC is a triangle right angled at B, the perimeter is given as 24, right? If this is your triangle over here, they have given, right, okay, B right angle at B, perimeter is equal to 24 over here, right? Perimeter is equal to 24, and the difference between the sum of the perpendicular sides, okay, which means AB, right, I mean this one is C, right, this one is C, AB plus BC minus AC, right, is equal to 4. Okay, right, now perimeter they have given as 24, so can you think of a triplet 3 4 5? Okay, in 3 4 5, how much is the perimeter? 12. Okay, so is it likely that 6 8 10 is the another one? Isn't it just the multiple of this Pythagoras triplet over here, right? So which means 6 8 10. Okay, is the perimeter 24? Yes. Okay, does the sum of these two, okay, 14 minus 10, does it come like 4? Right, so what is the area of this triangle over here? Okay, half into base into height, right, 6 into 4 24, right? Okay, so area inscribed in a triangle, this is the area and this is the circle inscribed in the triangle over here, right? If the circle is inscribed in the, if a circle is inscribed in a right angle triangle, in center is given as the sum of the parallel sides minus the hypotenuse divided by 2, right, which means 4 by 2, which means 2 over here is the correct answer, folks. Right, okay, right, A plus B by 2, right, okay, sum of the parallel sides, sum of the perpendicular sides minus the hypotenuse divided by 2. This is the formula for the in center of a right angle triangle. Okay, alright folks, so we get going over here with the next question. For the next question, consider the following for the next two questions over here, next two items, right? Okay, a circle M of radius 8 centimeter touches externally with another circle. Okay, right, so let's just try to understand the diagram over here. Let's say this is a big circle. Okay, this is a big circle over here, and now this is another circle over here, right? Okay, a circle M of radius 8 centimeter. Okay, so this is the circle M and this is the circle N. Okay, right, this radius is 8 and this radius is 16, right? Let PQ be the points where the common tangent, okay, right, P and Q are the points of the common tangent, right, touches the circle M and M respectively, right? Then what is the length of the common tangent? P and Q is what they are asking. Okay, right, okay, can I say something like, okay, U and V? I'm saying the centers are U and V, if I join the centers over here, U and V, will it look something like this? Okay, right? So will it look something like this, folks? Right? So UV, right? Okay. So now you have UV is the distance between their centers. Okay. So what is the distance between their centers? UV is going to be simply 18 plus 16 plus 8, right? So 16 plus 8 is 24. Okay. Now let's do one thing. We will draw a line like this over here. Okay, if you draw a line like this and let's say PQR, okay, right? Okay, now let's look at this triangle over here. Okay, in this triangle over here, right, we have this triangle over here. Okay, so this is your V, this is your U. UV value is 24. Okay, now this is 90 degree. Okay, or otherwise we can also say like PQ is equal to RV, isn't it? PQ and RV are equal, isn't it, folks? PQ and RV are equal, right? If PQ and RV are equal, right? So we just basically have to find out the value of RV, right? Okay, right? Now what is the value of RU? The value of RU is the radius, this radius PU 16 minus this particular radius, which is 8 over here, right? So this is the value of 8 over here, right? So what is the value of RV or otherwise PQ? This is root under 24 square minus 8 square. Okay, right? If you solve for this, this is a plus b, a minus b, which means 32 into 16, right? Which is your 16 root 2 over here 55. Answer will be B, folks. Okay, right? The answer to this particular question will be B, right? And now if they are saying if UV are the centers of the circle M and M, okay, M and N respectively, right? Then what is the area of the quadrilateral formed by P, Q, V and U? Okay, so PQ, this is one of the quadrilaterals. Okay, we have to find out the area of this particular quadrilateral, isn't it? The area of this particular quadrilateral is what? Okay, this length, right? This length is 8 into PQ is just, we just have found out 16 root 2 plus the area of this particular triangle over here, folks, right? What is the area of this particular triangle? Okay, half into base is again 6 root 2 into height is RU, right? Okay, so what is the value of RU? Again, the value of RU is only 8. Okay, right? So now if we solve for this, this one is how much? 4, right? And this one is how much? 128 root 2 plus 64 root 2. If you add these two, you will get 56. Answer A for this particular question, folks. Right? Okay. So geometry are not easy for sure. Geometry is definitely not easy. Okay. Now consider the following. Okay. For the next two questions, right? This is an easy question. Okay. The perimeter of a triangle. They have given the perimeter of a triangle is 105 centimeter. The altitudes AD, B and CF are in the ratio 3:5:6. Okay, 3:5:6. Okay, right? If this is the ratio 3:5:6, this is the ratio of the altitude, isn't this is what they are saying? this is the triangle, right? This is the triangle ABC, right? This is the AD, right? BE and CF, right? These are the altitudes. Altitudes are perpendicular, right? Okay. Now, area of the triangle in all the cases will be the same, isn't it? Right. Can I assume, simply I'm assuming the area of, right, the triangle is 30. Okay. If I assume the area of triangle over here is 30, right? Okay. If I assume the area of triangle over here is 30, right? So what happens? So what happens? Right? 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 So the altitudes are in this particular ratio. So let's say I'm saying altitudes are 3x, 5x and 6x. This is what I'm assuming over here. Right? Okay. So, or otherwise let's say I'm saying the area of triangle is equal to k. Rather than assuming 30, I'm assuming k. Right? So half into base is AB. For AB, what is your CF? CF is how much? 6x. Okay, will be equal to half into base is BC into AD. How much is the value of AD? Is 3x is equal to half into AC into, right, BE, right? What is the value of BE? Is 5x is equal to, let's say, k, isn't it? Right? If I'm assuming all of this value as k, so what is the value of AB in that case? Right? So over here, AB value will be, in terms of k, AB value will be how much? 2k by 6, right? Okay. BC value will be how much? Over here is BC and this is k. I'm sending 2k over here. 2k by 3, right? Or x also you can say, something like that. Okay, right? Right? So now AC value is 2k by 5x. Okay, so basically this is what the ratios of the sides are. Okay, this is the ratio of the sides are. Okay, if this is the ratio, right, 2kx, 2kx, all of this we can cancel. So it is in the ratio of 1 is to 6, 1 by 6 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 5. This is in this particular ratio, isn't it? Now how to change that in simple ratio like this? Okay, what we do, we multiply whole of this by a common LCM over here, which is 30, right? Okay, so which is 5 is to 10 is to 6, right? So B is the correct answer for this particular question over here, right? So this is the ratio of AB is to BC is to CA. Okay, and what is the approximate area of triangle ABC is what they are asking, right? Okay, now they have said, we know that if the sides are in the ratio, 5 is to 10 is to 6, right? If the sides are in the ratio 5 is to 10 into 6, folks, right? This is what we concluded over here, right? The sides are in the ratio 5 is to 10 is to 6, which means 5x plus 10x plus 6x is equal to 105. Why? Because they have given perimeter is equal to 105, right? Okay, so now this one is 21x is equal to 105, x is equal to 5, which means sides are how much? Okay, sides are 25, 50 and 30. These three are your sides. Okay, and now we can apply Heron's formula, right? So root under perimeter is S, so semi perimeter is 105, so semi perimeter is 105 by 2. Okay, S into S minus A. Okay, A means 25, I am writing 25 as 50 by 2. Okay, and now 105 by 2 I am writing 50 as 100 by 2, right? 105 by 2 minus 60 by 2. Okay, right? So all of these values over here, so let's just calculate this one. So this is your root under 105 into 55 into 5 into 45 by 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Right? Is that what we have? Now let's just clear off the mess. Let's just clear off the mess. Right? So if we clear off the mess over here, we have something like this, right? So now if we solve for this, right, 105 we can write it like 3 into 7 21, right? 21 into 5, right? And then 55 is 5 into 11. These are not decimal, each of these points are multiple, right? Okay, 5 into 11, and then 5 and 5 into 3 into 3, right? And now what do we have? We have 2 into 2 into 2, right? So what are the pairings we can do? We can do this pairing, and this particular pairing. Okay, so how much is that? 75 root under 77 into 3 is how much? 77 into 3 is 231 divided by 4. Okay, again they are asking what is the approximate area. Okay, so we have to do a little bit of approximation over here, folks, right? So how do you do the approximation, right? So we know the value of root under 225 is 15, right? We know the value of root under 225 is 15, right? Isn't it? If the root under 225 is 15, so we can simply write it like 75 into 15 by 4. Okay, right? So 75 into 15 by 4 is how much? Okay, right? 75 into 15 by 4 is 281.25. We have taken a number, this number we are calculating using this number, but actual value over here is how much? 231, right? So obviously the answer is going to be slightly more than that. Okay, the answer is going to be slightly more than that. Okay, what is the number which is slightly more than that? 285 square units over here is the answer which is slightly more than that. Okay, right? So now we'll move to the next question, right? Okay, we'll now move to the next question, folks, right? So we'll clear this. Okay, consider the following for the next two items that follows. A pot is made from a hollow sphere of inner radius 20 centimeter by cutting its upper portion horizontally. Okay, right? We are not doing the last question. Okay, a pot is made from a hollow sphere. Okay, right? So let's say this is your, let's say I'm saying this is your sphere. Okay, right? This is your sphere. There's a purpose why am I writing it in green and red. Okay, so now you have cut that, the upper part you have cut that. Okay, the upper part you have cut. Okay, if the upper part you have cut, okay, so this green portion is removed. Okay, now this has become a pot. Okay, a pot is made from a hollow sphere of inner radius. Okay, inner radius means this is your inner radius over here, right? Inner radius, let's say r is equal to 20 centimeter. and by cutting its upper portion horizontally, the height of the pot, okay, this whole height over here is 30 centimeter, isn't it? This whole of the height is 30 centimeter. What is the inner radius of the circular opening of the pot? Okay, what is the circular opening? This is the circular opening. Okay, when you look at it from the top, it looks like a circle. Okay, if you look at it from the top, it looks like a circle. Okay, 3D geometry. Okay, right? So basically, they have asked to find out what is this radius, what is this green value, right? What is this radius they have asked. Okay, so now let me just draw this one again a little bit more clearly. Okay, if I try to draw this a bit more clearly, so this is your pot, isn't it? Okay, this is your pot, right? Okay, now they have asked to find out what is this value, right? What is this value in yellow is what they are asked to find, isn't it? Now can I draw a line like this? Okay, now over here this green value is your radius, okay, which is 20, isn't it? And they also said that the height of the pot, okay, that means from this to this the height is how much? 30. If the height of the pot is 30, which means from this particular line, yellow line, okay, to this, it will be 10, isn't it? It will be 10, right? Okay, now they are asking what is the inner radius over here, right? So now if I would like to draw something like that, okay, let me say this one as O, this one as A, and this one as B. Okay, so now if you look at the triangle something like this, okay, if you are having a triangle something like this, O A B over here, right? OA value is the radius, is what you have to find out, right? OA is what you have to find out. Now what is over here AB? Is AB is also the radius, isn't it? So AB value is 20, OB value is 10 is what we have found out right now, isn't it? So what is the value of OA? Apply Pythagoras and find out. The answer you will get is 10 root 3. Okay, upon applying the Pythagoras you will get the value 10 root 3. Okay, now next question, what is the angle? Okay, what is the angle made by, what is the angle made by joining the line, what is the angle made by the line joining the center of the sphere, which is at B, okay, and any point on the rim? Okay, the what is the angle made by this line and any point on the rim, on the rim, okay, center of the sphere and any point on the rim of the circular opening with a vertical line passing through the center. Okay, with a vertical line passing through center. Okay, so they are basically asking what is this angle. Okay, what is this particular angle? Okay, in the triangle, in a 30 60 90 triangle, I have taught you well before in advance in my classes. Also we have taught you, right? Okay, in my classes I have taught you that, okay, what is the, in the 30 60 90, okay, 30 60 90, right? The value, if the value opposite to 30 degree is, let's say, x, the value opposite to 60 degree will be x root 3, and the value opposite to 90 degree will be how much? 2x, right? Okay, so automatically this particular angle B over here, right, it becomes 60 degree, right? If B is your 60 degree, then obviously over here it is answer pi by 6 over here, folks, right? How much is the answer? Pi by 6. right? 30, 60, 90, this is the standard result over here that you guys have to keep in mind. Okay, if it is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the angle, the side opposite to 30 degree will be x, the side opposite to 60 degree will be root 3x, the side opposite to 90 degree will be 2x, right? Okay, similarly 45, 45, 90, side opposite to 45 will be x, side opposite to 45 will be x, okay, and side opposite to 90 degree will be root 2x. Okay, simple Pythagoras also you can apply. Okay, so with this, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. We come to an end of this session. We are done with part C, wherein we are done with the 20 more questions. We will be doing part E and D soon, right? Okay, and we will get started with other subjects as well with the run up of the examination. Meanwhile, if you want to take a crash course with us, right, you can ping me on this number 777-988-9657. Okay, for all the graduate entries, we are just keeping it 4999 only, right, for all of your up till the run up of your examination, right? Okay, apart from that, we'll work with you, we'll give you individual mentorship, and you will be getting live classes, all that which is running. Okay, you will be getting recorded classes, right? And you will have to practice your own PYQs and stuff like that, like this is how we are practicing, right? Live classes, recorded classes, there will be hand holding basically, right? Everything we'll be giving to you, right? And we'll be speaking with you over a phone call, over WhatsApp call, over Gmeet and all that, to understand your problem, right, and to keep you motivated and all that. Okay, right? Okay, right? Right? So thank you so much all of you for joining. Okay, please connect with me on 777-988-9657, and we get going from there. Okay, thank you so much folks for joining. Okay, just I wanted to show you that this is our Faujis Academy website over here, right? More details on our course are here, right? Okay, I'll just show you a bit over here, right? Okay, so this is our sprint course. So sprint course is for 6 months, but now we are having the crash course only over here, right? Okay, for now, if you want to join us for a long term, we also have alpha courses, alpha basic, alpha plus, and also we have bravo courses as well, bravo basic, bravo plus courses. These are for 2 years, right? Okay, and these alpha courses over here for your 1 year. Okay, we also have alpha elite course as well. Okay, so we have 6-month course, 12-month course, 24-month course, everything we have over here, right? Okay, you can speak with us on the given number 777-988-9657 to get more queries on the same. Okay, so thank you so much all of you for joining. I'll see you guys in the next meeting, and till then, bye bye. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.